9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tuned.
If you have a request or shout out, hit us up live in the studio. And now your host.
A very warm welcome to all of our awesome listeners from across the globe, and welcome to Let's Talk Showbiz, a world of entertainment.
Hello to everyone tuning in from across the world. We hope that everyone's Easter weekend was filled with family, love, and joy. Welcome to season 2 finale of Let's Talk Showbiz. We are absolutely thrilled to have had an incredible journey this season.
So, what were you up to this Easter?
I actually mentioned it in the previous episode.
Yeah.
We had our outreach at Yabana Village this Saturday that just passed. It was amazing. It was, heartfelt. We had about 15 volunteers with us, give or take.
Wow, that's amazing.
We actually had lunch with them. We provided the lunch though, but it was just awesome to engage with the kids. They were ranging from the ages of 8 to 18. So it was amazing just to show them some Easter love. And obviously, just because I can, if anyone wants to get involved in future events like this, please do contact me.
If people want to get involved more into those things, you are going to continue doing it. So they can just hit you up on Facebook or
Please
Insta.
do. Or if you just want to do drives or just want to do donations, I can't tell you how necessary it is to do these things. And also with our platform that we have as artists to be able to engage.
And this little lady is doing constant work in the community, reaching out and doing amazing things. So you can just also keep tabs on her Facebook page. She's always a little awesome warrior out there fighting the good fight. I don't know about my Facebook page.
Basically, just contact us through Let's Talk Showbiz and they'll contact us.
And some family
so I'm actually part of a whole foundation group of volunteers. It's not just me. But yes.
But you do a lot. You do a lot for the community, and you do a lot for a lot of people.
Okay.
Okay, but anyway, so what was the family time?
Yes, I saw my family on the Sunday and the Monday, which was awesome and epic. Because obviously,
I also saw my family on the Sunday only.
Yeah. Oh, and you also had rehearsals?
Yes, that's why. So
I think we need to use the platform to have a little bit of advertisement here.
For shizzle. We were busy the whole weekend with rehearsal. So we're doing a production called Dreams, the musical production. My company's the South African Film Acting and Theatre Academy is putting up a production at the Roodepoort Theatre on the 18th of May in association with Talent Africa. And what's so special about it is that we are using 100 talented young individuals, young performers from the industry.
Up-and-coming artists.
Up-and-coming artists. What is the word that I'm looking for? Unviewed or unestablished artists. People that are still young and up-and-coming that haven't been seen. We're giving them a platform, and the production is really all about them. It's giving them a platform to showcase their talents and get recognized for the talents that they have gotten. So, this weekend we were full swing with rehearsals Friday and Saturday and Monday. It was just Sunday that we didn't rehearse, so I took Sunday and I had to divide myself up and spend half of the day in Harties with Philip's family, and then half of the day in Vereniging with my family. So,
and just bringing it back to the production that's coming up off script. Where can they find out about it? Where can they buy tickets? How can they come view it?
Tickets will go open and go live, I think, next week on the Roodepoort Theatre's website. So all of the ticket sales will be done through the Roodepoort Theatre. They're handling all of that. They have the information about what the show's about. We will also post a little poster on Let's Talk Showbiz just with a little information bio of it. But next week on the Roodepoort Theatre's website, the information will be there and you can book there.
Support.
Now, going back to
Let's Talk Showbiz.
You can also tweet us at Let's Showbiz and tell us what you did this Easter. We would love to hear from all of our awesome listeners. #MyEasterWeekend, #LTS season finale. Now, it's note that this season on Let's Talk Showbiz has been an incredible journey for all of us here in studio. Amazing guests and awesome interviews and just a great insight in various industry fields.
Yeah, and we've had the honor to have some amazing amazing industry veterans and industry practitioners grace us with their knowledge, experience, and insight during season 2 of Let's Talk Showbiz. We kicked off the season with South African artist, now residing in NYC, Ashlyn Gray, followed by the makeup artist and social influencer Carla Bosch, and then poetry queen Puna Selesho.
That was right. Oh, and that was so fun. That was our telephonic interview, our first telephonic interview, which was awesome. Such a great lady, such an awesome person. We also had the talented and incredible Werner Becker, who just launched his EP last month. Shout out to Werner, and thank you so much for the awesome gift. Thank you. We had the legendary Kate Norrington and amazing Earl Gregory from Into the Woods, a spectacular sometime classic, which we had the honor to also see at Monte Casino. And we had the frontline man, Conrad Rudolph from the Capitals, who joined us here in studio.
Also who released a single recently.
Yes, a lot happened. Just.
And never mind the amazing international guests and stars that we had the honor to meet and interview, including Tina Marie Holland, Director of Talent America, and a lady with a lot of passion and drive in our industry. And
of course, Mr. Victor Trevino, who pushes the boundaries of ballet and surpasses the norm. He was the choreographer and the artistic director of Men and Tutus, which was here in South Africa also a week or so ago.
And not to mention little music ninja Josh Moreira, the dude with a killer voice, amazing songs, and great passion, who just performed at the Splashy Fen Festival and also released a new single.
That is right.
We're just popping the singles here.
Yes, it's just coming out. And I actually saw that Genevieve, who is his PR, posted on Facebook that Josh actually made the Jacaranda Top 20.
Hey,
so congrats, dude.
And then, of course, there's today's guest feature with a little touch of jazz. Guess who? Stay tuned.
Yes, truly an incredible season indeed. That being said, what would you say has been your most memorable moment for season 2?
For season 2, okay. Man, I would have to say my most favorite one, just because I'm a theatre nerd, had to be with Kate and Earl.
Oh, that was so nice.
There was so much quality information there to learn from and everything, and it still blows my mind.
I agree. It's sometimes so difficult to choose because there was
each one has their
each one had their own thing that was so unique,
different industries and everything,
and the convos was just amazing.
I think I know who your favorite is.
Who?
Tina Marie.
That was fun. That was really fun. But I also say that...
And Victor.
No, but I actually also wanted to say Kate Norrington and Earl. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that episode. That was such a nice episode. Like, we just had such a blast with them in studio, like talking and laughing and stuff. It almost took me back to
my favorite. That's my most memorable moment is when they went full in accents.
Yes.
And you were just like, huh? Wait, what? And you just go, what just happened? And then you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
But that was Kate Norrington and Earl was a highlight for the season for me. It was just so much fun. And of course, I think another highlight would be, like you said, Tina Marie, just meeting her, getting to interview her, speak to her, someone that's...
And because you also worked with her on Talent Africa.
Yeah, because we worked together that week, and I just got to know her so much better. And I was truly astonished by the work that she's trying to do, not just for the local
and what she's done
for the international, yes, but what she still continues doing, not just for the industries there in America, but how she's actually trying to bring that through to South Africa. So
okay, so now in case you missed any of these juicy episodes with these fabulous guests, you can catch up on all our podcasts available on brandlive.co.za and the YouTube channel, or you can just follow us on Facebook, where we share the links of each podcast and we make that available to you.
Now, speaking of, as today marks our season 2 finale, we definitely don't intend to not go out with a bang. That's right. Featuring in today's episode is the hottest show in Johannesburg, Chicago. With inserts from the cast as well as exclusive sit-down with Darren Greef, resident choreographer of Chicago, and Raquel Mann, who is one of the actors and the performers of the ensemble and the understudy for Velma Kelly in Chicago.
But of course, before we dazzle you in the criminal world of the sexiest, hottest show in Joburg currently, let's take a look at what's hot in the world of entertainment locally and internationally.
No, it's definitely no doubt that this is a big month for Marvel and DC fans. Everyone is getting ready for the anticipated release of Avengers, the Endgame, but listen to this. Now, while South African fans, they are all lined up for the release next week, certain countries have already had their look into this epic film. Please, no spoilers. Disney executives said on Wednesday morning, the 24th, that Avengers Endgame delivered the highest opening day of all time in China on an estimated of $107.2 million.
Crazy.
Like, the film hasn't even come out in all the countries, and they've already...
And meanwhile, back in the Marvel universe, the world might be ready for the Avengers Endgame right now, but exciting advances are afoot with Marvel's third and final film of 2019. Tom Holland's Peter Parker will somehow be back in Spider-Man Far From Home, the sequel to 2017's Homecoming. The good news is the film's release date has shifted forward so fans can see it 3 days earlier than expected. So, Spidey fans...
And in the world of the DC universe, their newest film, Shazam! DC Shazam led the box office with $53.45 million this weekend and is currently owning the 9th best position on opening weekend ever in April, which will obviously be knocked back to number 10 on the 26th of April when Avengers Endgame opens. However, critics have praised this DC film, saying that this is a refreshingly delightful, light-hearted entry into the DC extended universe and has enough charm for the whole family thanks to the standout performances, broad humor, and the positive message. DC or Marvel? DC or Marvel?
I can't choose. I love them both. But I actually did want to ask you, if you had to be a DC specific superhero, who would it be?
Superman.
Me. I think you should,
I would choose Wonder Woman.
You should be Shazam.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. But I would have said Wonder Woman, but my gender doesn't go with that, so that wouldn't work. Because I dig Wonder Woman. She's like awesome.
Because I'm Wonder Woman.
There you go.
And
In the music front, the Gumas was last week, and what a pleasurable event. A night was filled with great entertainment and surprises. South African singer and winner of Die Contract, Demi Lee Moore, took home 5 Guma awards, including Best Composition, Best Pop Album for Female Artist, Best Music Video, Best Popular Song of the Year, and the Honorary Award for Best Seller.
Damn. And female artists rocked at this year's Gumas Award with the incredible Taryn Lamb taking home 3 awards for her first Afrikaans album. Taryn took home Best Contemporary Album, Best Female Artist of the Year, and Best Album of the Year.
And we had the honor to meet both of them, both amazing and incredible ladies. Truly.
Shout out to Taryn and Demi Lee.
The Gumas also featured amazing performances and milestones, as Andre Swartz, known for The Phantom of the Opera, was awarded with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Congratulations.
I have to say that was probably one of my favorite at the Gumas, because he actually did a medley of some of his Afrikaans songs, and then he just had to throw in that little Phantom moment.
I know, right?
It was amazing.
And he even had the mask.
Yes, he had the mask, which came out of nowhere. Amazing. And this was followed by a tribute performance by the SAFTA award-winning band, a second Lifetime Achievement award awarded to the band called The Rockets. So this is South Africa's very own Queen of Pop band. If you don't know, they include the lead vocalist Theo Watt, lead guitarist and vocalist Jerry Watt, bass guitarist and vocalist Janu van der Berg, keyboardist and vocalist Ryan Smith, and on the drums Bruce Newman. One of South Africa's first bands to successfully tour abroad to various countries, including Australia, Middle East, Seychelles, and more. The Rockets have supported many international acts in SA, including Usher, Alicia Keys, P. Diddy, Will Young, Luther Vandross, The Spice Girls, Rowan Keating, and so many more. Countless historic platforms and events.
Had such an amazing performance, I remember.
Yeah, the tribute was just so
That was so nice. It was truly an amazing event, an amazing evening. And lastly, for the world of music and the international front, National Arts Festival 2019 highlights a stellar lineup. Joined by the Kwatus Choir, a combination of the Rhodes students and the voices of the residents of Makanda's Rini and Josa's Township. The Eastern Cape's Philharmonic Orchestra will present a gala concert at the Symphony Concert. Also among those taking to the stage are South African globally recognized performers such as Lady Smith Black Mambazo, the Drakensberg Boys Choir, Mafizikolo, that's right? Mm-hmm. Yes. The Springbok Nude Girls and Freshly Ground, as well as so much more.
Oh, I love the Eastern Cape Philharmonic. And in the land of theatre, Full House Productions is in association with Brooklyn Theatre presents My Fair Lady, the musical running at the Brooklyn Theatre until the 1st of May.
And shout out to Danny DeBrain. Cool. Good luck. Finally, at Monte Casino, you know it, Chicago hits Theatre with a stellar show. Be sure to get your tickets. Don't miss this one. You will regret it. Yep. It is showing until the 26th of May, 2019.
Chicago! And we were actually at the Chicago media event earlier this week, and we have some special brief shout-outs from 3 of the leads. Here's one of the male leads, just a quick recording.
Hi, I'm Craig Abani, and you're listening to Let's Talk Showbiz. I'm playing the role of Billy Flynn in Chicago the Musical. We're currently running at the Teatro at Monte Casino. We're going to be here until the end of May before we go to Europe. It would be criminal to miss it. Get your tickets. Come and catch us at the Teatro, Chicago. You don't want to miss out. For me to come back and play this role 11 years later is absolutely extraordinary. It's a complete gift. Chicago is one of the musicals where, as long as you can still do what the roles require physically, age counts in your favor. Age and a bit of life experience and a bit of history and weatheredness. You know what life does to us. A bit of knowingness comes in handy. So it's a gift to be able to play this very cool character. He's got such a wonderful payoff. Surrounded by the most beautiful, sexy dancers on stage. The show is in perfect shape. It's looking amazing. And I really think it's the best production of Chicago that I've been in. And I only have 2 to compare it between, but it's so amazing and you don't want to miss out. So come and watch the most extraordinary show. It's the hottest thing in Joburg right now, for certain.
There you go. That was Craig Urbani playing the role of Billy Flynn in Chicago the Musical. And we will feature the other 2s in the upcoming break. Now that's all we have for today. April surely is a jam-packed, eventful and inspiring month. Make sure that you follow us on social media where we continuously post updates, events and news for you to keep you in the loop of what's hot locally and internationally.
Yes, and of course, we are on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Showbiz and on Twitter at Let's Showbiz. Remember, you can also tag us in your posts on social media to keep us in the loop of events and industry gems out there. We would love to hear from you, to feature you on our local pages and hear more about the local and international flavors in each of your shows.
Now, like we said earlier this week, we had the great opportunity to go to not only see this phenomenal show at Monte Casino, but furthermore, we had the pleasure to do an exclusive interview with 2 of the members of the Chicago group, Darren Greef, the resident choreographer, and Raquel Mann, the singer and performer of the ensemble group and an understudy for Velma Kelly.
Snap, snap. We're going to take a quick break, and right after we will dive into the interview with Darren and Raquel live from Monte Casino's Teatro earlier this week. It will be a criminal not to miss it. Stay tuned.
Podcasting, the practice of using the internet to make digital recordings of broadcasts available for downloading to a computer or mobile device. Or, as they say in South Africa, a fantastic way to tell a good story or to bring your brand to life. To find out more on how podcasting can change your brand, speak to us at brandlive.co.za. brandlive.co.za. We bring your brand to life. You're listening to a brandlive.co.za podcast.
And welcome back. You are listening to Let's Talk Showbiz, a world of entertainment. For those that just tuned in, we have the absolute pleasure to do an interview with Darren Greef, resident choreographer of Chicago the Musical, and Raquel Mann, singer and performer of the ensemble group and understudy to Velma Kelly.
That was amazing. We did this interview earlier this week, live from Monte Casino's Teatro during the media and press event. Now, before we play you this awesome interview, let us give you just a quick rundown of who these awesome 2 guests are.
Cool. Starting with Raquel Mann, she began her professional musical theatre career after graduating with a National Diploma in Musical Theatre from the Tshwane University of Technology and with an Advanced 2 in Classical Ballet from the Royal Academy of Dance in 2004. Her theatre credits include Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, 2004, My Fair Lady, 2006, The Rocky Horror Show, 2008. Whoa, this is a list. Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Disney's High School Musical live on stage, and the Asian tour. Singing in the Rain, the international tour. Wow, just like living my dream. Saturday Night Fever in 2006. 2016. Can I just?
Yes, it's overwhelming.
Okay, cool. Kicking off with Raquel Mann's bio, she began her professional musical theatre career after graduating with a National Diploma in Musical Theatre from the Tshwane University of Technology and with an Advanced 2 in Classical Ballet from the Royal Academy of Dance in 2004. So her theatre credits include Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, My Fair Lady, The Rocky Horror Show, Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Disney's High School Musical Live on Stage, the Asian tour, by the way, Singing in the Rain, the International tour, Saturday Night Fever, and Raquel has also worked on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines and Princess Cruise Lines as a featured singer and entertainer. She also has television credits, including being presenters and yes, in the Timberland Homes, The Red Pocket Knife, and Very Mark. And she also continues to have music credits with different lyricists and different vocalists and producing companies. Shooting back to Darren.
Yes, Darren began his professional theatre career after graduating from the Waterfront Theatre School in 2008, where he achieved his advanced levels in dance, drama, and musical theatre, as well as a teaching qualification in these genres. Now, his theatre credits include the Namibia Youth Ballet, where he was the principal dancer, the Durban Youth Ballet, where he was another principal dancer, the Cape Town City Ballet, where he was corps de ballet, the Bovim Ballet, which he was a principal dancer for.
He's the principal dancer.
He's the principal. Cats, he was in the South African tour, one of the swings.
Oh, wow.
He was in Greece, the international tour, one of the ensembles. He was in Phantom of the Opera, the international tour, one of the ballet dancers. He was in Singing in the Rain, the international tour. He was one of the ensembles. And then, of course, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, where he was, it was the international tour he also did. He was the dance captain as well as the resident director.
Oh, awesome.
And lastly, Evita, which he did the international tour for, and he was the tango dancer. So quite a repertoire. He also has television credits, of course. This includes So You Think You Can Dance. He was in the top 8.
Yes, boy.
Miss South Africa, Miss Namibia, and as well as various music videos and Bollywood films. Hey, Bollywood!
They have my dream careers happening.
Awesome.
Theatre
Now,
checklist.
tick, tick, tick. And those are amazing musicals, some of my favorite. But now, without further ado, here is the exclusive interview that we had with Darren and Raquel earlier this week.
Welcome to Let's Talk Showbiz. Raquel and Darren. They're from Chicago. We're in Monte Casino. We're actually not backstage. We're in the foyer. In La Foyer by the merch shop. You can come buy merch. No kidding. Welcome, and so glad to be able to interview you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
So we're going to somewhat just kick off with questions just to save you guys some time. I'm going to let Niku take the lead on this one.
So, Darren, what is your role as the resident choreographer?
My role as the resident choreographer is to keep all the choreography as authentic as the productions throughout the entire world. So the choreography you're going to see here is the same as the choreography you'll see on Broadway and in the West End, where our associate choreographer Gary Christ come down from New York to stage the choreography, and it's my job to maintain everything and keep it authentic.
That's awesome. Actually, I have to ask you, because I studied this musical, as most musical theatre lovers do. Does this one also take on the Bob Fosse, or is it a recreation inspired or built on the foundations of Bob Fosse?
It's Bob Fosse's choreography that was tweaked by Anne Reinking. The Hot Honey Rag and the Nowadays pieces right at the end of the show you'll see is the authentic Bob Fosse choreography.
Awesome. Great. Okay, we're going to shoot through to Raquel.
Yes. So, how long have you been in the Chicago cast?
So we started in July last year. So how many months is that? Like 8-9 months or so? Yeah. So I've been doing it since July last year.
So this is your first Chicago
First
production?
time. I will say I have auditioned for Chicago many times. But this is the first time I got in.
And how has the entire journey and experience been for you being involved in such an iconic production?
So it's for anyone who studies musical theatre, it's your dream to be in a Bob Fosse show. Everybody wants to do it. I mean, he's a legend. He did so many famous movies, Cabaret, Sweet Charity, and then all the Broadway shows. And, you know, he revolutionized dance. So it's a dream to do it. Yeah.
That's incredible. Now, prior to Chicago, you've also worked on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line and the Princess Cruise Line as a feature singer and entertainer.
Yeah.
Word has it that you were practically one of the lead vocalists for the season on the cruises. How was that experience for you?
I absolutely adore and love working for those two cruise lines specifically because they are American cruise lines and you're on the biggest cruise ship in the world, and got to be the lead singer. And I can actually boast and say in 2007 I was the lead singer in the biggest cruise ship of the world, the Freedom of the Seas. So it's just an incredible experience when you go over, you rehearse in America, you get to work with Broadway directors and vocal directors, and it's just an incredible experience. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us, since there's a cruise line, there's sometimes there's remarks that the theater is different on a cruise versus on land. How is it similar and how is it different?
So because they're brand new ships, the technology inside is new. So all the, the sound system and the automation is all brand new. We've got hydraulics and crazy things that they do. A lot of money goes into those theaters. I mean, it's exactly the same as what you'd see here at the Teatro, but it's rocks. So you'll have a bit of a sway going, and when you're dancing in your heels, they reinforce our heels so they don't break our heels. But yeah.
Oh, so they actually reinforce your heels?
They reinforce our heels so
That's
that we
brilliant.
don't fall, or you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's incredible. It's a different audience that will see your show. It's not like these are theater people that come to watch the theater. It will be anyone from any walk of life. Yeah.
That's awesome, especially to get people who don't do theater to start doing theater. So that's amazing. Cool. We're going to jump back to
Darren, yes. So speaking about ships, when did you jump on board Chicago? How long have you been involved in the whole process? Is this your first Chicago, or have you actually been involved in the previous ones as well?
No, this is my first Chicago as well. I was involved from, I want to say January, but I might be wrong, but I was involved in the whole audition process from January, or it was February, round about the beginning of the last year. So I was involved with them. We were in Cape Town. We traveled up here to Johannesburg, did all the auditions, and then I was with the casting of the show as well. And then, of course, I started rehearsal with them in July. Yeah. I actually left my previous production. I was in Japan at the time, and I left early to come and rehearse this production and then open this one up. Yeah.
And how has the experience been working with the creative team, the cast, the directors? How's this entire journey been for you?
I've loved every second of it. It's been a huge learning curve for me, but I've had an incredible cast that have worked so hard all the time, and there's a beautiful respect between the cast and the creative team, which is great. And then learning from, Gary Christ, who was, with Bob Fosse, just learning from him and the specifics of the choreography. And I mean, it was a huge amount to take in. And I've got a Bible, what I call my Bible, of everything that's in the production, of the do's and don'ts and the cans and can'ts, and those are my guidelines, and I have to stick to them. But the experience has been unbelievable, and I love coming to work every single day.
I have to ask, do you sing as well?
I do.
Okay, so I'm gonna break some rules here. I'm gonna ask both of you this question. It's two. One, what is your favorite number in the musical? And two, if you were cast in any role, what would be the song to sing?
If I was
Male
cast
or female?
in any role, I want to be Velma Kelly. And I want to sing I Can't Do It Alone. When I rehearse Sam, I take over all the time. I'm like, I think I do it more than she does when I'm like, no, let's do it again.
Is that also your favorite number?
It's my favorite number. I love it. There's so much comedy behind it.
And you?
So my dream role has always been to play Velma Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually her understudy. So,
oh, what?
So yes. But my favorite number is All That Jazz. All That Jazz is it is the song of all songs.
Of course.
So there you go.
So that's your favorite number and your favorite role.
Yes.
Okay, holding thumbs. So you're going to let us know when you do your understudy session.
Yeah, it'll be a last minute notice, but we will we'll try and see if we can get a message out.
Yeah. Comp tickets.
Okay, Darren. So prior to Chicago, we noted that you were also cast in highly acclaimed productions such as Evita, Singing in the Rain, and Phantom of the Opera. Stunning repertoire. Touring a lot of these productions, what would you say have been your favorite stage or place to travel, and what has been the most exciting audience? That's a big one,
Wow,
I know.
that's big.
Let's break them up. Favorite place to travel during your travels with these productions?
Do you know what? I spent 4 months in Bangkok with Phantom of the Opera. And, you know, everybody goes to Bangkok for holiday and they go to Thailand and they island hop and what have you. And I was there for 3 months performing. The audiences were incredible. And you just got to experience that holiday lifestyle while still working. But it was incredible. And then I took a month off afterwards to go and travel around and do all the islands. And it was unbelievable. But, you know, every place is amazing for each different reason. I mean, I spent 7 months in South Korea and absolutely loved it. So,
That's amazing. So, jumping on the same question, want to ask you, Raquel, your career has also required you to travel quite a bit. What has been your favorite stage or place to travel and your favorite audience?
Sure, that's difficult.
Let's put it this way. On the ships and off the ships.
Okay, so this show is definitely my favorite show I've ever done in my life. I'm absolutely addicted to it. Every day gets better for me, and I can't express how much I love it. So the audiences we had in South Africa are probably the best audiences we've had. And so it's just a joy. Then when ships, I would say whenever the ship is out of the Caribbean, we just get Americans and just their response. I mean, they're lively and they stand and they clap and it's just, that's great.
Would you say that, you say that you've had the best audience here in South Africa. Would you say that's because it's a proudly South African production that they may be responding to it so well and everyone's like, I think you guys as the people involved in it are proud of it, but I think people coming to watch is just as proud because it's a
That's exactly. I mean, exactly it, because we're South African, they're South African. But I also think that, you know, it's about getting away with murder, and I think for South Africa, we're corrupt in this country. You know, it kind of resonates quite well. So yeah.
Oh, you heard it here first. No, I'm kidding. Quote unquote. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it with you. What has been the highlight of your career thus far?
Wow. Sure. I'm going to say it's when I got to play Velma in New Zealand. I got to play it at the beginning of the tour. And that was just, like I said, it is a dream role. And that was probably there's two actually, I lie. So it's that one. And then I would say when I was the lead singer of the biggest cruise ship in the world. That was two very big things that happened in my life.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And for Darren?
This has definitely been my highlight. It's a show that I've always dreamed of doing, and in this position as well.
But I feel like you've been kicking off the highlights. You're just like tick bucket list, tick bucket list.
You know what? I've been really fortunate in terms of work and productions and going from show to show, and it's been big shows, and the travel, and there's just so much that goes with it, and you know, it's so divine to come to work and every day is a highlight, really. But I must be honest, this show is just my dream. I remember watching it the first time here in 2005 and going, one day is one day. I want to do that. At that point, I still wanted to dance it. But then I got old and I thought, okay, now I'll go to the resident side. And that's been great as well.
I imagine that both of you have been working really hard for an opportunity like this, whether you expected it to come or not. That's amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, everything leads up to the next gig, really, and where producers bring out shows, and it's the big shows, and you go and audition, and you may do it, you may not do it. So it's you're always on edge of, am I going to do this? Am I not? I really want to do this, but can I? Can't I? You know. So I think that's always quite interesting. But I mean, you know, this production's a dream for everybody. I think anybody in musical theatre, if you say, what show do you want to do? Chicago's going to be the top of the list.
I can agree with that. So we have to almost wrap up the interview. So last two questions. I want to know from you, Darren. This is off the books. I want to know, so compared to all of the other productions that you've done, how different would you say is choreography with Chicago? How has the experience been with the choreography for Chicago specifically compared to the other ones? And what particular item has been a challenge for you when you started with the choreography?
Oh, look, the choreography here is so different from anything else you'll ever do. A lot of the other productions are big show numbers. It's, you got singing in the rain, you're dancing in the rain, you're kicking in the water. Cats, for example, you've got, iconic choreography there. But this choreography is so specific, and it's not necessarily huge, big production numbers of jumps and kicks and turns and what have you. But because there's such a story behind all this choreography, it just makes it stand out so much from other productions. It's the story behind it. It's the storytelling. It's how everything links. And it's the smallest movements that have the biggest impact. And I think that's been the biggest challenge, is keeping everything more important and not making it big, because you tend to, you've got an audience that's really excited and you get hysterical and you want to, do a bit more, but it doesn't work. You have to work as a group and make everything so important.
Stick to the...
Yeah, and that's been the biggest challenge. And I'm constantly, I love this cast dearly. And I think, I hope to say they love me too, but, I'm constantly working with them. This is one production where it's, we're working constantly. This production can never be perfect enough. So it's constant rehearsal, constant cleanup calls, and, spending half an hour on one finger movement to get it perfect.
Okay, and then Raquel, my question to you, and then passing to Chante, is what is your advice to aspiring artists out there in your field?
Okay, so I'm going to just take it from what my strengths were. Is I really think you need to dance, sing, and act. You need to do it all. You need to be as good as a ballet dancer. Get up to your advanced to it if you can. Go to your singing classes, do your singing exams, do real drama, meet real actors in the industry and try and get training from them. I think it's really important. And then also there's a part that needs to come where you've got to marry all of them and be able to do them all at the same time. So for me, when I was at Tech, we had only I think 4 ballet classes a week. I'd go to all the ballet classes that they had for all, even the dances. I'd go to everything I could do. I think that's what makes your strength go. But then lastly, you have to maintain your craft. So you have to go to class all the time. You can never, ever stop. Yeah.
Back in queue. Yes, I actually want to ask him as well. What tips do you have for aspiring artists in your field, especially the dance and choreography?
I reiterate what Raquel said. It's maintaining your craft. When you leave your place of training, you're at your peak. Mm-hmm. And you've got to keep that peak going, and you've got to constantly improve yourself. You're never going to get to a position where you're good enough. You've always got to work. You've always, as Raquel says, you got to go for the singing lessons. You've got to go for the dance classes. You've got to go for the acting classes. You've constantly got to keep it up, because when you're doing a production, for example, I did Phantom for 4 years solid. Yeah. That was ballet, then you still got to put your pair of tap shoes on and you still got to do a tap class. And what we like to do as casts sometimes as well is take everybody's different strengths. And I was teaching tap classes and we would have a ballet class every day. And so you're constantly keeping it up.
That's great. Okay, so for both of you, what is next after Chicago? If we're allowed to know. Is it under wraps?
Completely under wraps.
Okay.
There is definitely something.
You watch this space.
I've got 2 productions coming up, but international. I don't know if I can say these things.
That's enough. That's cool. Moving on. # watch the space.
Sure. So
also
I always just think I always keep my options open, and I think
awesome.
So it's either going to be musical theater or a ship again, but a ship as in my own show. I've got my own show that I've put together, so that might be the new direction. We don't know. We'll see where life takes me.
What are your handles?
So I'm just at Raquel Munn, RAQUELMUNN.
Mine, I did so long ago and I've never changed it, so it's really embarrassing. But mine is Dazzy Boy, DAZZY_BOI. I think I did it when I was and
all that jazz.
There we go.
And there you have it, guys. Unfortunately, that's a wrap for the interview. Time to play our little favorite game before we wrap the episode.
Oh my goodness.
Surprise. Cool. So this game is called Oh Snap.
Okay, so the guest has to blurb out the first word that comes to mind after a word is given, and you have to answer as quick as possible within the 60 seconds. And basically, you're not allowed to say pass. You